I'm looking all over TikTok, and I don't know why people aren't talking about this, but Japan has been rocking and rolling now for about 2 weeks with over 1,000 earthquakes, and it's literally shattering the roads, y'all. And there's a prophecy. Look at this. That has been happening for the past 2 weeks. Literally, rocks and everything has been falling out of the mountains. The roads are cracking open. But there's a prophecy that states on the 5th of July this year, something huge is supposed to happen to Japan. Now, they're either saying it's gonna be a giant 9 or above earthquake that shakes the sea floor and causes a tsunami, or something's gonna come out of the sky and take out Japan. But nonetheless, something's gonna happen.
The earth is rumbling beneath Japan, and it's not stopping. In the past 2 weeks alone, over 900 earthquakes have rattled on a remote island, is unleashing a storm of seismic fury that feels less like nature and more like a warning. The ground won't rest, and neither will the fear. The rumor originates from a 2022 Japanese comic book, The Future I Saw, which features a dream foreseeing a tsunami and is also available in Chinese. The popular manga artist, known for eerily accurate past predictions, forewarned of a catastrophic disaster striking Japan in early July, specifically pinpointing July 5th. The fears of a megaquake have led to flight cancellations and reductions in service, affecting tourism.
Yeah, y'all, plenty people have left Japan. People are canceling their flights. People are hiding underground because they have no idea what's popping off. But y'all see that, man. The roads are cracking. I guess is what they mean by release the Kraken, because it's getting serious. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in. Y'all, this storm in Texas, much more bigger than I thought, y'all. This storm literally washed away an all-girls Christian school campground. Now, y'all know this thing came in like a thief in the night, so not all of them were saved. All in all, there were 750 girls. 13 of them were found unalive. 23 of them are still missing. One of the girls was actually found in a tree 13 miles down from where the school was, y'all. The school is completely submerged in water. Look at this.
Because there's a little town in Kerrville, Texas, about 60 miles from San Antonio. Most people know where San Antonio is if you don't live in Texas. The river has risen over 40 feet in 3 hours. It is washing away everything. But pray for this right here, please. There was a girls' camp, a Christian girl camp. All of them were up there camping. There's a nice river everybody rides on around there. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful. But there was a bunch of Christian girls up there. 20 of them I don't think they found yet. I think there's 13 of them that they have found and identified. And they did.
So here's the campground over here while it was being overtaken by the water. That was a campground's pool. But yeah, y'all. One of the girls was found in the trees. At least 23 or more are missing, and a lot of them were found unalive. Y'all, this is some crazy times that we are in, man. This is literally another North Carolina event. But yes, y'all, the shift is here. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this.
Well, check it. I'm about to break down the difference. God's. Peace.
Is a power higher than us trying to tell us something? Why do I ask? Because China had one of the worst floods in their history. We also had one of the craziest weather events in Lake Tahoe. And you had these wild storms in Atlanta. And right now, currently, Europe is on fire. Literally. They are experiencing the worst heat that they've ever had. Record high temperatures. Europe is also dealing with extreme fires. Take a look at the maps behind me. So the question needs to be asked, what is going on? Think about the meteors that had fallen out of the sky, the fireballs ripping and racing across the sky. Also, the loud booms being heard all over the world. And it begs the question with all the chatter about the alleged rumors of the Anunnaki returning to Earth, the alleged galactic war that people are talking about that's happening above Earth. So my question to you is, why are all of these things happening? These crazy unseen weather events, fireballs, loud sounds. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
checking your bank account before you spend money is actually useless. It's fucking up the money even more, because the real bank account is how we feel within. So when we check the balance on a screen that tells us how much money we got or how wealthy we is, that's when we gonna already fuck ourselves up. Because if it's not the right number, your body gonna start feeling like lack. It's gonna start feeling like fear. It's not gonna want to spend this money when you was just about to spend it for something that you needed. You get what I'm saying? So then it creates a lack mindset. But the universe is just a mirror. And what you give to the mirror, what does mirrors do? Reflect. So when you give, you're actually receiving. And that's another thing that opened my wealth consciousness and started manifesting me more money and got me from the broke mindset. Because I used to be scared to spend money. Broke mindset is scared to spend money. We scared to use it because we don't know how it's coming back. Abundance mindset is open and happy to use this money. Number one, because we know it's an infinite amount. Number two, because when you do spend this money and you give the money to the mirror reflects and you get it back. So you giving is receiving. It's no separation. Only the flesh and the ego and the human mind think it's a separation. And once you think it's a separation, you're actually losing money even more. So now you're receiving, unless you think it's a separation between you and the money that you're giving, you and what you're doing with this money. If you think that is leaving you or going away from you, then that's what it's going to be. How you feel in that exact moment when you spend the money is what's going to attract the next situation. So if you felt fear, lack, or that you don't know how it's going to come, you're going to attract more situations, so you can keep feeling that feeling until you break the fuck out of it.
Oh my God, y'all. So while most people were lighting up fireworks, parts of Central Texas was fighting for their lives. The people in Texas says there is nothing to celebrate this 4th of July because they just had the second most catastrophic storm in history. If you didn't hear, the Guadalupe River, it crested its banks in the middle of the night while people were sleeping. Meaning the water rose up so high and so fast, it literally flooded the rural communities around it, y'all. Y'all, this is at 4:30 in the morning. This house is literally floating down this river with people in there. Look at them. Look at the flashlight, y'all. That's crazy. Look at this. Homes, businesses, trees, light poles, stop sign, completely ripped out the foundation, and they were floating down the river. Look at this car being sandwiched between these two homes, y'all. This is crazy. Now the tree is getting into what's going with the tree. Look at this, y'all. Oh my goodness.
Flash flooding in the San Antonio area as the Guadalupe River flowing at historic levels this morning. Kerr County Sheriff's Office says people have been killed in this, but wouldn't say exactly how many just yet. Meanwhile, the National Weather Service reports the Guadalupe near the city of Hunt reached its second highest level ever recorded.
Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden, he can't walk, he can hardly move, and look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look, we've lost our cars.
Look at the sky, y'all. The sky's purple. The sky is literally purple. Look at this, y'all. This is crazy. She says she's lived there for 30 years. This has never happened. And here's the kicker, y'all. Apparently, Texas is already set up to receive more rain today. I don't know how they know this, but there might be more flooding happening.
Even more devastating, meteorologists expect the area to receive several more inches of rain in the coming hours. And Kerrville Public Utility Board saying at least 2,600 customers are now in the dark.
Like a thief in the night. These things are happening like a thief in the night, y'all. The Bible told us there's a great cleanse going on. Y'all see it. Don't act like y'all don't know what's going on. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Why Kodak told him that, though? Why Kodak told him that, though?
It's getting real. I told y'all the celestial star family's return. Expect to see a lot more ships and strange lights in the atmosphere. All over the planet, there's been sightings of Red Kachina, alright, which is referred to as the purifier. When you see Red Kachina, you actually know that change is coming. This is the personification of transformation. The Hopi prophecy indicates that Red Kachina would bring about purification, cosmic family. All right, everyone has been seeing Red Kachina. There's been so many sightings of Red Kachina. One of the things that they have been trying to do is blanket the sky with chemtrails. All right, seeing is touching. and quantum physics. So when we see Red Kachina, when we see these celestial luminaries, something very peculiar begins to happen to your DNA. All right, ancient memories begin to unlock. All right, ancient energetic key codes begin to unlock and synchronize and harmonize with these celestial luminaries. All right, you begin to remember and rekindle ancient primordial memories. Now, it's important to know the Red Kachina's arrival also has an effect on our central sun. All right, causing more solar flares. All right, so we're going to be getting hit with a lot more solar flares and things of that nature. I mean, there's a potential geomagnetic storm that's afoot. All right, that is said to be stronger than the 1859 Keratin event. This is one of the primary reasons why these higher dimensional beings are visiting this planet. All right, they're very interested in our ascension process, and they know that we're actually emerging solar cycle 25. All right, and that a lot of us are going to be going through a lot of upgrades. As I made mention of previously, this whole planet was a huge eugenics testing facility. All right, a lot of us are descendants from various different beings. All right, that visited this planet. All right, and they're very interested to see what we become when this solar flash actually affects our DNA. Some of the things you should be utilizing to strengthen your melanin is chlorophyll, okay? Chlorophyll is the best for detoxification and removes toxic metals such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum, all right? I do have the chlorophyll available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. Another great component for healthy production of melanin is tyrosine, all right? And it's phenomenal for cognitive function. Tyrosine produces something called neurotransmitters, all right, like norepinephrine, epinephrine, as well as dopamine. And dopamine makes you feel very good. So one thing you're going to notice when you take the tyrosine is that you're extremely happy and at a very high frequency, all right? I do have the tyrosine capsules available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. And as the frequency continues to accumulate on a planet, you're going to see a lot more of these cosmic visitors in and out of our atmosphere.
Know what I saw. You lunatic fucking liar.
I said enough.
Lunatic liar, because Luna means moon, and they are people from the moon. They are the moon people, because the word moon is an anagram for the word no om, which means no peace. So as long as these people are here, we will have no peace, because they are crazy. The sunlight makes them go crazy. The moonlight makes them go crazy.
Gelatin.
And you see, go right back to the necklace. White women tears.
I know what I wrote. Please stop shouting at me.
If I tell you guys how many times I've heard this, I've heard it, and it's always about watch your tone. Watch your tone. It's your tone. And it's because they have no tone. They have no tone, so they can't take our tone.
I am not shouting.
You've been raising your voice.
Thing's a nut allergy.
What's nut allergy?
That? No such thing as a nut allergy, because that's what the sun is doing right now. Let's see what nut gives us. Look at that. No such thing as a nut allergy gives us 33. Look at that, because 33 is the age of enlightenment. So it doesn't matter anyways, because the sun is gonna be nutting on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be getting them CMEs. You're gonna be getting them CMEs or solar flares. That's the sun nutting. Okay, the plasma energy. Okay, so there's no such thing as a nut allergy. All right. If you know who Nut is, right? In Egyptian mythology, Nut is the goddess of the firmament. Nut is the Egyptian goddess of the firmament, okay? So that's why the sun has to nut on the goddess, right? To bring her back to life, okay? To bring her back to life.
From Tehran to Israel. They put it. Yeah,
So this is what they mean by New York not being a real place, because not only do you have cars dropping into massive sinkholes, but New York also experienced some type of crazy hailstorm yesterday as well too, y'all. Look at this, y'all. That's crazy. Right after the car fell into that pothole, New York was like, here, let me fill that pothole with some ice. And look at this, y'all. The heavy wind, rain, and ice was really coming down at one point in time. Look at this deck over here, y'all. It looked like little salt pebbles, doesn't it? Right? The earth is being salted right now, man. The season is here. That's crazy. It seems that New York is definitely playing its part out in the Matrix. This hailstorm caused some significant damage to some cars. New York has also been getting tornado warnings. This wasn't a tornado that would knock down the tree, but this hailstorm was accompanied with heavy winds, and it was knocking down trees onto the ground. Ice is everywhere, y'all. I told y'all, man. Ice is in the form of government, and you know this over here. That ice is working overtime all over the planet, y'all. In the form of government, you know, hot as hell, you know, and then you get ice as hell. Ice as hell as well too. Vanilla ice, baby. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
Are you a Christian?
No.
You're not a Christian? Do you believe in God?
I believe in the universe.
How about God?
You call it God, I call it the universe. The universe is everywhere. So I believe everything starts with the universe. The love I have for the universe allows me to love everybody with no judgment whatsoever. Whatever you do, however you do it. So I don't play in groups. I don't play Christianity. I don't play Muslim. I don't play Baptist. I simply play love. I belong to the group called Love, and I believe in the universe.
So when you say universe, are you saying the universe is God?
Right. Yes. You call it God. I say the universe. I say it's always, everywhere, all the time, sees all things, everything. So what you say God, because see, for me, in my humble opinion, especially in our community, God got a lot of restrictions. God got a lot of rules. God jealous. God be mad as shit, Jesse. God will punish you and send you to hell. I don't want to fool with him.
Are you a
As soon as he asked her, is she a Christian, he could have just stopped right there. Because what is a Christian? A title, something that's given to you. Literally just a control mechanism to categorize people into a belief box. Y'all know how many people this week alone I've seen in the uproar about this? In some of the comments to that video. This world is so lost. God is the creator. Universe is the creation. That's a bit 3D mindset-ish. All just names for something that has no beginning and no end. Once again, God is a title. The universe is a title. Allah is a title. Jehovah is a title. Yahshua is a title. I could keep going all day, but y'all catch my drift. Those are all access points. There's different languages, different religions, different belief systems, different conscious levels. I mean, I could go on and on. What this boils down to ultimately is everybody calling the same unamiable force by different names. Essence of it all is energy. God is the universe, and the universe is God. Water is still water, whether it's in a cup, a river, a cloud, it doesn't matter. It's still water. Different forms, same source, same power. Back in the day, this shit would have irritated me so bad when people saying the universe is not God and all that type of shit. But then I have to remember, like, people can only see as far as they're vibrating. Again, that's why I said that's very 3D mindset-ish. Thinking about power outside of yourself. Again, I learned you can only understand something from the frequency that you're sitting on. If you're still looking for God in the sky, in a building, in a book, I mean, I get it. I'm not here to judge because I started there too. But I see God now when I breathe. I see God when my manifestations show up in divine alignment, not timing. Feel God in the wind in my womb, silence and synchronicities in the damn mirror. God is not limited to human words, human interpretations. That's just colonized spirituality. Whether you call it God, spirit, intelligence, the I am, just know you're speaking about the same creation, the same source, the same power. This is really just for anybody ready to unlearn those limitations that was placed on you by religion. It's time to get connected back to yourself, back to the all. The soul came here to remember, not repeat. I really wasn't going to say nothing, but spirit say, you know what? You got a responsibility now. Here I am, shedding light because somebody somewhere is waking up right now, questioning everything they've been taught and told. You know why? Because we in the great awakening. Some people are not going to awake, and that's okay too. The ones who need to hear this, remember who you are. Remember the power that you have within you. A lot of people still clinging on to them titles and boxes, aka that cube that I told you was called Saturn's cube. It's a representation of your mind when it's closed. Let it open into that cross where you reach enlightenment. Instead of just having the knowledge, you actually start applying it. A lot of people been sitting up in church being spoon-fed but never learned to pick up the spoon and feed themselves. At some point, you gotta learn to digest your own truth. It's the same book that they use to quote scriptures and judge everybody else tells them. Just that I think they skip over that part every single time. Ye are God, Psalms 82:6. Come on, y'all. Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is within you. I always jumble this one up, but Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that you are the temple of God and the Spirit dwelleth within who? You. I'm always curious how people keep sitting on this concept that God is this faraway man in the sky. Like, did y'all actually pick the book up? You think God is separate from you? I'm going to tell you this with love. You've been colonized spiritually for real. I'm not saying that to mock you. I'm just saying that so you could wake up, finally. God didn't just create the universe. God is the universe. God is everything. God is you. God is me. God is the birds. God is the trees. God is the grass. God is the leaves. Like, what else? I mean, come on, y'all. You are a reflection, a fractal, a frequency. You want to see God? Breathe. Love somebody through their pain. Speak life into your own cells. That's divinity in motion. They're not going to teach you this. They don't want you to have your true power. And the they is, I know somebody's going to come ask, who is they? They is the hidden hand. And that's been running the show the whole damn time. Been all this damn confusion up. This is not about arguing about theology. This is about spiritual sovereignty. But like I said, I get it. Some people still vibrating from a system of fear. Baby, fear don't live here. I'm just here to remind you of the truth that lives in your bones. Again, remember who you are. It's love and light and gratitude for watching.
Y'all see this? Sun's magnetic field will soon flip, possibly boosting auroras and shielding Earth from cosmic rays. This actually is an occurrence that takes place every 11 years. The sun shifts polarity, all right? Now, some predicted that it would take place in 2024, all right? But now it's looking like 2025 or potentially 2026, but it's looking more like this year, all right? Based on the 600-mile filament that erupted and all the X-class solar flares that we have been getting, all right? Lately, a lot of people have been seeing the aurora borealis, all right? These beautiful colors of green and purple in the sky that are attributed to the magnetosphere being depleted. This is a time where you really want to cleanse and detox the body of parasites as well as toxic metals such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum, okay? This doesn't matter how much melanin you have, all right? We're going to get substantial activity with the sun, all right? We're entering what's called solar cycle 25, and it's going to rapidly increase. The summer is going to be very hot. I expressed that sweet wormwood, black walnut, and whole cloves not only kill parasites, but eradicate their eggs, all right? Parasite's objective is to pretty much keep you from having a Kundalini experience by keeping you tethered to the root chakra, all right? You have to remove all parasitic invaders, all right? It's imperative. And again, wormwood, black walnut, and whole cloves not only kill parasites, but also eradicate their eggs. After utilization of a parasite cleanse, you want to use something like chlorophyll to detox the toxic metals out of your body, all right? You need a binder, all right? Chlorophyll is an organic binder that contains mycelium, which is a fat substance that wraps around things like lead, cadmium, mercury, aluminum, as well as any deceased parasite after utilization of the parasite cleanse to properly expel them from the body, all right? This is going to allow you to then integrate the cosmic sunlight a lot better, all right? To go through the melanogenesis process, all right? This is when your melanocytes absorb those ionizing particles and transmute them. The Detox 19 Heavy Metal Cleanse is another phenomenal product that I have available on Holistic Remedies. It's great for removal of toxic metals as well as microplastics. When you do a parasite cleanse, you want to make sure that you also remove the heavy metals. Parasites are very intelligent, cosmic family, and they typically hide behind the heavy metals, all right? And with solar cycle 25 approaching, it's important that you're clean and that you fully detox the body to ensure that you can properly integrate cosmic light successfully. It's important to know that the sun is rapidly transforming your DNA, all right? It's rapidly transforming you. The more you're outside, the more you're being upgraded. This is why it's important that you ensure that you're properly cleansed so you can facilitate the cosmic ionizing particles. For all high-quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.
Y'all, what is going on with this massive energy spikes in the Schumann resonance? Have you guys been feeling this as of late? Y'all, any of you guys been feeling dizzy? Y'all been feeling not yourself? Have y'all been sleeping a lot? Anybody been sleeping a lot? What about dizziness or vertigo or lack of motivation? Are you guys feeling any of those? Well, this is exactly what's going on, y'all. So let me show you. As you can see over here, this is the y-axis. This represents the frequency, and it goes from 0 to 40 hertz. And this bottom over here is the x-axis. This represents the time of day. As you can see, it's 24 hours in a day. It ends right here, it's 23, and then starts again over here at 0. Now, x marks the spot, so at x times, we're getting the y, which is the frequency. Why? Because we're getting an upgrade. That's why the frequencies are on the y-axis, because we're getting upgrades to ascension. Now, for the past couple of days, actually the past couple of months, we have been getting extreme bursts of white energy. And white energy, when you look at it, think of Christ consciousness energy, because white has to do with transmutation. So this is a high influx energy of Christ consciousness we coming in. DNA upgrades, physical body upgrades, high level of dream activities to the point that you're not able to discern if it's a dream or a reality. Third eye activations, these are all ascension symptoms. This Christ consciousness energy is cleansing the physical vessel right now. Usually the earth sits at a cool 7.83 hertz. That is the natural frequency or the heartbeat of the earth. This is when you're feeling calm, meditative, you're grounding. But look at all this energy, y'all. This is all energy, and it's a hertz. That's why people are feeling pain right now, because it hurts. A hertz is frequency, it's sound wave. A hertz equals a cycle per second, so it counts how many times per second this thing is happening. And do you see the longevity of this? Sometimes this goes on all day or all night. So we are receiving an influx of gamma radiation or gamma beta waves. This is the super consciousness, the Akashic records, DNA upgrades. Is the earth is literally forcing us to awake. That's why people are feeling it. So when you guys see this is direct correlation with the sun, because just like us, the earth has been missing her soul, and now her soul is back, which is the real sun, the black sun, the green sun. That's why you see this green around it, because the green sun was actually powering this, y'all. So yes, y'all, if you're feeling some type of way, it's because your light body is adjusting and you are picking up these light codes, because you are literally antennas, your pineal gland is a receiver and transmitter. So the shift is here, y'all. We've been telling y'all, and it's happening ever more so, y'all. Solar maximum. Let's continue. Let me know how you guys feel about this video. Y'all feeling it? Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue. Peace in.
Oh, they want to waste your time. Yeah, you chosen one. They don't even want you. They want your attention. They'll do anything in order to prevent anyone else from experiencing your energy. The fact that they already know they blew with you, or they wasn't even qualified. They now know all the doors you were opening and can open is permanently closed. If anyone experiences your energy, they'll text and call you to make sure they keep that connection, but they'll never come and see you to reciprocate that energy, because they are weak. They'll talk about the old you and all your mistakes to keep you complacent, but they'll never talk about the new you and all your accomplishments, because they'll help you move forward away from their nonsense. They'll undermine all your attempts on building a relationship, all in order to keep you confused and chasing. They'll never be direct, because you'll realize that you're not chasing the prize. You're chasing a bag full of negative energy. These people want to waste your time, energy, resources, and your patience.
Now that we are awakening, let's go ahead and watch this clip from The Lion King. But before we do, let's talk about it so that you can look at it from the correct lens. Mufasa is God. Simba is God's son. Scar is Satan. Satan, aka Scar, took God's spot, which is Mufasa, and then God's son, which is Simba, ran away. He runs away because he's lost and in fear. And then he runs into Rafiki. Rafiki tells him, your father isn't dead, he's alive. He's using present tense because he's telling Simba, like, you confused. Even though you feel like your father has transcended this realm and you feel like he's dead, that is when we really become alive. So then Simba looks into the water and sees his reflection. Then he looks away and then he looks again and sees his father's reflection. His father, who is Mufasa. Mufasa, who is God. God is within him. Mufasa told Simba, you have forgotten me because you have forgotten who you are. If you've forgotten who you are, you've forgotten me, because I am God and so are you. Remember who you are. Now let's watch the clip and look at it from that perspective and see how powerful it is.
Will you stop following me? Who are you? Hi. Hey, wait! You knew my father?
Correction. I know your father.
I hate to tell you this, but he died a long time ago.
Nope, wrong again. He's alive, and I'll show him to you. You follow old Rafiki, he knows the way. Come on. Don't stop. Hurry up.
Oh, wait.
Come on.
Just slow down.
This UFO disarms what appears to be 2 rockets. Check this out. I told you they are literally worn right above our heads, all right? It's a lot that they hide from the populace, cosmic family, all right, through chemtrails and computer-generated imagery. The Sakar Empire and the Jehovian Anunnaki are a Luciferian section of extraterrestrial biological entities that have been subjugating this planet for millennia. These are your militaristic factions of Israel as well as the Vatican. What most don't know is for eons, these beings have been fighting amongst each other to secure global supremacy. As we continue to approach solar cycle 25, a lot of things are going to be exposed, cosmic family. All right, this government has been hiding so much from us simply by bending light photons. We're now gaining more access to the light photon spectrum, and there's not much they can hide anymore. Most of your news reporters, most of your celebrities, most of your judges, most of your politicians, all been extraterrestrial biological entities, believe it or not. I know that sounds very crazy. I know it sounds like I'm nuts, but it's true, all right? Believe it or not, there's a lot of different entities on this planet, and some live in subterranean bases underneath us, all right? There's whole cities underneath places like California, all right? And the Hopis actually spoke of the Snake Brothers, all right? You can research it. Los Angeles actually was referring to the Lost Angels, those fallen angelics. Movies like The Men in Black that actually show secret organizations whose whole job is to pretty much hide these type of entities and keep them from being exposed are based on facts, all right? All of these type of entities are real, and a lot of you have different extraterrestrial genetics. Some of you are Arcturian, some of you are Anunnaki, some of you are Blue Avian, some of you are Telosian, some of you are Lyran, Reptilian, some of you are associated with the Greys. This whole planet was a huge eugenics testing facility, and all of us have different extraterrestrial biological genetics. What most don't know is some actually have telepathic communication with their celestial kin and actually could receive downloads from their cosmic star family. This is why they utilize things like chemtrails as well as 5G, 6G, and 7G towers to pretty much distort the ionosphere so you don't have the ability of receiving and transmitting messages to your cosmic star family. I made you aware that herbs like lion's mane mushroom will combat the deceptive machinations that's used to hinder your pineal gland, all right? Lion's mane mushroom, aka Hericium erinaceus, regenerates damaged neurons as well as decalcifies and activates the pineal gland, okay? I do have the lion's mane mushroom available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Herbs like mugwort leaf as well as blue lotus flower are also phenomenal components for accessing the gateway to your cosmic celestial kin because they're great for things like lucid dreaming as well as astral projection. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.
Have y'all heard this yet? Y'all need to listen to this.
Department of Defense abruptly shutting down its satellite data delivery program, and it's sending meteorologists scrambling.
Are going to be cases this year when certain warnings are delayed because of this. It might mean that evacuations get delayed because of this, and you could lose lives because of this.
This is a huge deal, especially when you consider the fact that we are just getting into hurricane season. We haven't even reached the peak of hurricane season
Forecasters say they are extremely concerned, and that's because they're only going to receive about half the data they're used to, which makes it problematic when you think about accuracy as well as tracking a hurricane in real time. As you take a look at the video from previous hurricane seasons, starting Monday, June 30th, the Department of Defense is going to stop ingesting, processing, and transmitting real-time microwave data collected aboard 3 weather satellites. Meteorologists say this is going to severely impede and degrade hurricane forecasts for this season and beyond, and as a result, impacting tens of millions of Americans who live in hurricane-prone areas. Hurricane experts say without this satellite imagery, there's going to be an increased risk of sunrise surprise, meaning when the sun goes down and then comes up, a hurricane could rapidly intensify, gain speed, perhaps become more powerful, and make landfall sooner. There's going to be an increased risk of sunrise surprise, meaning when the sun goes down and then comes up, a hurricane could rapidly intensify, gain speed, perhaps
Denaturalization of United States citizens. And I'm sure y'all all see people are outraged about it. But again, y'all got to think about the actual words that's being used. A United States citizen essentially is an employee of the United States Corporation, not a state of America. You know when someone passed, right? What word do they usually use to describe their assets? A estate. Now look at it like this. Everyone that was originally in America, the indigenous people of America, the quote-unquote black Americans, are the estates of America. This is where you get the United States of America from, not the corporation of United States, because they are not a part of America. Because I keep on explaining to y'all that the quote-unquote black Americans isn't even a citizen. We're not in their system, and they basically reverse the whole system on us. So I'm gonna try to explain this a little bit deeper with some definitions so it make more sense. Denaturalization in the United States refers to the process of revoking United States citizenship from a naturalized citizen. This occurs when the government proves in court of law, again, I'm gonna say that, of law, not policy. That's why it's going through the Supreme Court, because that's the only real courts around here. So it say that individuals was not legally eligible for citizenship at the time it was granted. Meaning there's plenty of other ways to get quote unquote citizenship, but not the right way. I'm gonna get on that later. So as y'all see, it say denaturalization is a serious legal action and the government must meet a high burden of proof. So we have the grounds for denaturalization. Illegal procurement of naturalization. This includes situations where the person was not eligible for citizenship in the first place, such as misrepresenting facts on their application or failing to meet residence requirements, concealment of material fact or willful misrepresentation, lying on citizenship application, or concealing information that would have prevented naturalization can lead to denaturalization. Convictions for naturalization fraud. A conviction for attempting to procure citizenship illegally can also lead to denaturalization. And last, wartime military service. In limited cases, naturalization through wartime military service can be revoked if the citizen later is dishonorably discharged. Now notice how that sounds like you're a soldier in the military. Just like I mentioned earlier, you're an employee to the state when you're a citizen. Now the court process. Civil action. Denaturalization typically occurs through a civil lawsuit filed by the Department of Justice in federal court. So that means they all on their own out there. And we got the burden of proof. The government must prove its case by clear, convincing, and unequivocal evidence. And we all know they got it. Because if I have it, they definitely got it. And of course, these people got a chance to appeal. If a denaturalization order is issued, the affected individual can appeal the decision in the higher courts. And like I said, the higher courts is the Supreme Court, because it's the only federal court, the only real court out here that goes by the law. As y'all can see, it's not a common occurrence, but their focus is on criminal activity. This is what I've been preaching the whole time. Denaturalization efforts have often focused on individuals who committed serious crimes such as war crimes. That's the G side we see is happening everywhere. In the legal system, in the healthcare system, and of course, what they're doing goes against human rights violations also. And obviously, as y'all can see, fraud is included, and we all know they've been committing fraud because they stole our identity. And as I keep telling y'all, they did all this by their citizenship. They created loopholes to make it seem right on paper. So there's different types of citizenships, right? We got the citizenship by birth. We got just solely, and that basically means if you're born in America, you're considered a quote-unquote American. And that's the main way how they did it. You know what I'm saying? We had immigrants come over here from different countries, and they all just had babies here just so to be considered American, so they can basically infiltrate our government. And now we have just sanguinis. This means the person's parent had to been a real citizen first. But as we know, we've been taken over by the war, so everyone that eventually came over here was never a citizen. They never went through a process to be a citizen. So most people that's here in America is not an American citizen because their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents was not a citizen of America. Most likely a citizen of another country. But this is why the birthright citizenship is a big issue right now, because the people that has blood rights to the land isn't getting everything that they owe. And again, like I keep telling y'all, it's the black Americans that is the real Americans before we were invaded. Another way you see citizenship through naturalization, right? This is the process in which a foreign national can become a U.S. citizen after meeting certain legal requirements, including residing in the United States for a specific period of time, demonstrating good moral character. Now keep that in mind. Like I said before, that's why they had to go through this process, and a lot of people didn't, and that's why you see people out here protesting for some illegal shit. Then you got to pass a civic test and taking an oath of allegiance. You know, a lot of people take oaths, sign contracts to keep secrets from the black Americans. Like you got doctors, you got pilots, just about anyone in the field that may know more than you think they know. They're told not to speak about it, so we don't know, so we can never catch on to what's happening. So there's more types of citizenships now, and basically all these other citizenships besides by blood is basically some policy they made up to confuse everybody and to basically invade countries. 3, we got citizenship through derivation. This refers to an individual who automatically becomes a U.S. citizen when certain conditions are met, often involving naturalization of a parent while an individual is still a minor. We got dual citizenship. The United States generally recognizes dual citizenship, meaning a person can be a citizen of both the United States and another country. They're getting rid of that too. You know what I'm saying? Like all this just don't even sound right. Like how can you have dual citizenship in America when Americans can't even have citizenship at all? There's even more ways to become citizens. We got a certificate of citizenship. This document serves as proof of United States citizenship for individuals born outside the United States who automatically acquire citizenship through their parents. Like, how is that possible? So you're saying somebody could literally come from another country, drop a baby off here, and then that person be a citizen, and they get older, they can just have a baby in a whole nother country, part of the country they came from, and their baby will still be considered American citizen. How is that fair? How that makes sense? Then we got citizenship by marriage. We all know how that goes. We got honorary citizenship. This is a symbolic distinction granted by a city or government and does not confer citizenship. Like, think about that. They can literally just say anybody's a citizen at any point in time. That don't even make no sense. Honorary citizenship. That's crazy. And of course, last, you got naturalization through military service. We all know what that is. That's self-explanatory. So as y'all can see, there's plenty of different ways. They done created some policies to make themselves citizens in systems that we're not even included in, but they make us think we are. And not only think that we are, but we're the lowest of the low in the system. But this is exactly what I was talking about when they're going to reverse everything and just take everybody's citizenship away because they're not citizens because they all came here illegally, which is a super violation of universal law because we are literally in a wartime scenario right now. We have people that's here that's literally draining the country. They might know, they may not know. And they're fighting to continue to do what they're doing. And they still want the people that originally lived here to be on the bottom. So the only way you can put all this back into place is by removing all these crazy people. But you already know, like I keep telling y'all also, that they're specifically targeting the elites because they are the ones that did this mad years ago. They moved down here and had babies here. They got their family in here all through citizenship and trained them up on all the policies, all the laws, and put them in positions that only the indigenous people are supposed to have within the government. And that's exactly how they reversed everything on us because we're supposed to be in the government. We're not supposed to actually be just on the streets, you know, outside of the government, outside of the state. We're supposed to be controlling our own country. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.
You can play mind games on somebody, but if you're going to play mind games on them, they can't be aware of those mind games or those mind games are not going to work. See, red car, look, but it didn't drive all the way down here because they don't want you to see. They know I'm recording. Nobody ever comes down this road because this bridge is broken. Nobody can go down. There's a sign in the beginning of the road saying do not cross. Those, you see this little orange thing right here? These are on both sides of the road. They moved them out the way just to drive down this road. Just to drive down here so they can drive around me and make me feel anxious and nervous. If they provoke you with that, remember, that is conditioned stimulus. That's my conditioned stimulus.
For me, it'd be police sirens, just to be transparent. and chemtrails. It's making me think of how quickly the cars are responding to her and how she herself is experiencing it as if there are direct responses to certain thoughts and feelings that the cars or their drivers or the people responsible or whoever or whatever algorithms are responsible for the cars ultimately being there are very in tune with her movements, or maybe even responding to her in the same way that I put that video up the other day on my page about how chemtrails always start across the sun when I'm working with the sun. At first I didn't know what to do with it. This video makes me I love this. Between this and the guy breaking down all the Tartarian architecture, tomorrow when I go outside, it's going to be a very fun day because I'm going to be seeing everything. I did an experiment one day in my hometown. Early on getting my powers too as an adult. We were in my friend's car at the river, a place where we would always go to hang out. And I started working with the sun, making it glow brighter and stuff like that. And then chemtrails would start across it. And I told my friends, I said, look, and then I showed them it happening. And then I said, okay, now let's drive real fast to another part of town. We drove over to Barclay Street and we're looking up, and then there's no chemtrails. Now, from this angle, which in the same town, this small town, but from a different street, now we can't even see the chemtrails that just went across the sky, which lets you know how local all of this is. No matter how much scientists try to make it seem like it's millions of miles away, that experiment proves that it's local. But from that angle, I'm like, okay, now watch again. And I did it and brightened it again, and the chemtrails started again from the new angle. I said, y'all. And they're like, yo, bro, nah, you got that. Like, that's weird. For real, that's weird. It's undeniably strange and obviously responding to you. The question is why? How?
You'll ever realize that everything happening in your life right now, you spoke over your life at some point? I'm talking about years ago, you spoke this over your life. Wow, this shit is... We didn't realize how powerful our words were back then when we were saying them. You know, I talk a lot about etymology and words themselves, and a lot of people come and say words don't matter, and I just laugh. You know why? Because words are matter themselves. Like, words are matter. They actually take form and shape your reality. I'm literally living in conversations that I had with myself 5, 10, 15, even 20 years ago. I told this story on my live how back in 6th grade, I was a peer mediator. And so I was the one who did not want to be seen, but they would come get me when the mess popped off. I'm the neutral one, the middle ground, because what is y'all really arguing about? You see how even at 11, I was holding space for people just like I'm doing now. That wasn't random neither. That was an early seed that was being planted. I remember when I got deep into my spiritual journey, like I'm talking about back in the day, I would watch podcasts, I would see different leaders, and I'd be like, damn, I aspire to be like them one day. Actually, I aspire to be on their show one day. Fast forward to now, I'm making that a reality. I was 5, I was running around saying the world gonna know my name, and I didn't know how. Time went by, I knew damn well I didn't want to be a celebrity, so I was like, I don't know how the world gonna know my name. I wanted to make sure that I make an impact on the world. I'm living that right now. In high school, college, people coming to me. I'm the go-to for their life problems and shit. Even at my young age, somehow I always knew what to say. But I ain't know it was spiritual coaching back then. I thought I was a good-ass friend. Don't get me started on my tribe. I used to say to myself, I just want to be around people who are like-minded, people who understand me, who I don't have to explain myself to. Now look, y'all all in my comments, in my DMs, at my events, every city I go to. When we meet, it's always like we met already in another dimension because I spoke y'all into existence. That's what you call seed magic, because sometimes you don't even realize how long your manifestation's been in motion. It's because it's something you whispered to yourself in the dark, something you scribbled in your journal, something you may have cried out in frustration, but you meant in your whole soul. Let me say this, your mouth has been doing the ritual the whole damn time. Say less, but manifest more, because your harvest is already here. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Immigrants claiming that they're birthright citizens, but they are in America running foreign businesses, stealing wealth from the indigenous. Coercion and fraud seem to never have any witnesses. The silent war is what we're experiencing. Everything we're seeing right now isn't a coincidence. Their time is up, the reset is imminent. Now watch how politicians, judges, and doctors act innocent, knowing they exploited humanity's ignorance. silence the chosen one's spiritual intelligence. Now ask yourself, do we really have independence when we know they've been trying to G-side their whole race out of existence, while people from different countries get government assistance, and during that process they pledge their allegiance to the United States corporation controlled by demons, by Baal 66 invisible legions. I'm spitting that knowledge you need to be receiving. Anybody can understand it. I'm shallow banned for that reason.
Y'all see this? What in the new cycle age of Aquarius is going on here in Mexico? This ain't snow, y'all. This is foam. Toxic foam. What you're looking at here is toxic foam floating around in the streets of Mexico. So after it's been raining some heavy rains in Mexico, both a dam and a river overflowed and it hit this water treatment center, and boom, now you have toxic waste, toxic foam all over the streets of Mexico. And yes, people are getting extremely sick from this. Eye irritation, coughing, they're getting inflammation all in their body, skin irritation, hives, and a lot of people have been hospitalized. So this specific town got foam, and in the other part of town you got nothing but straight up dirty, murky, violent water that's pushing cars into Neverland, never to be seen again. This is crazy. And check this out, the water was so strong it ripped through the local cemetery and literally unearthed the dead, y'all. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at these cars, y'all. It looked like giants just threw them up. It looks like giants was playing with these. How symbolic is this, y'all? The dead is literally rising during this global cleanse. Didn't Jesus say that? The dead shall rise first? Y'all, look at this. Look at the kind of water that Mexico has to deal with, y'all. Look, this is crazy. No wonder why people are getting sick. Water is literally cracking the whole world, y'all. This is literally what the age of Aquarius is about, man. The water bearer. Y'all, there is an energetic purge going on, you guys, man. And this is crazy. That sky looks eerie as hell, man. The shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Look at this, y'all.
Las Vegas. We are on Tropicana in front of the Walmart. Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for
but the other pole's still up, and the tree's still up, and the sign's still up.
I don't know what the hell is going on. This goes for miles, y'all. Look at the cords on the ground. It goes all the way down. Miles.
This was a hit. Didn't I tell y'all to learn symbolism this year? 2 days ago. It's gonna be a little different because the sun gonna be at its hottest. Veil will be the thinnest. The collective frequency will be split as fuck. Expect on or around July 4th more massive heat wave. This is literally as well as emotionally. And we can look forward to the system glitches, aka power outages. Maybe even a tech collapse too. We due for one of them. It's gonna be a major truth bomb from a celebrity or a politician real soon. When I say major, I mean major. Or ritualistic events disguised as an accident or prophecy or pattern recognition. Ooh, I'll take the pattern recognition for 100, Alex. I feel like Maui, California, Lahaina. It's very well possible that I could be wrong on this, so correct me. I'm not above correction. But didn't Maui have laser precision destruction where the homes were gone but the trees were still standing? What about Cali? Full homes wiped. I mean completely wiped out supposedly, right? Trash cans still standing, signs still standing, trees still standing. Can't forget Lahaina either. Vegas feels like a power grid hit. I'm just gonna say. I'm the one that tell y'all, do not give them all the credit. But one thing I'm gonna say about this, not natural. Definitely a hit, a message. In the grid equals disabling the collective power, because electricity is not just power, it's also a frequency. Remember, I've been telling y'all this is a frequency-based war, spiritual warfare. Taking out them poles, they trying to interrupt energetic flow. All spiritual disorientation, have people in survival mode, fight or flight. It feels like a psychological ritual. Use fear and confusion so they can open up the portals that they want to open. Every natural disaster, let me put the on that, okay? Every natural disaster is nothing more than a collective fear event. Fear is the fertile ground for mass manipulation. Timeline collapsing and opening up them portals I just told y'all about. But guess what? They need your help. They need your energy. They need your fear. They need your attention. What exactly does dust symbolize symbolically? A lot of people don't know this, but in ancient war magic, dust was used to cloud the enemy's mind. The storm is symbolic of mass psychic fogging. I just so happened to make a video yesterday talking about spiritual gifts and how they come online for people. And one of those major gifts that people are seeing is that they're psychic. Now they're trying to blur the line between real and illusion so they can cause confusion. Speaking of illusion, Vegas equals the capital of illusion and energy exchange. The city runs on entertainment, sexual energy. And don't forget the gambling frequency, so that equals risk, chance, and manipulation of energy or manipulation of fate. Ain't it also the city of light? Because they knocked out the physical lights, it now becomes a spiritual ritual. Trying to rewrite fate lines, redirect energy current, attempting to collapse certain timelines of the awakened. Tried it in Maui, which was ancestral Hawaiian land. Cali to the dreamscape state. Now Vegas, the illusion capital. I know I could read into things a bit too much sometimes, but am I the only one peeping to play here? Now what can we expect next? More attacks on them frequency-based cities. I'm gonna be looking at places that has a lot of black and indigenous culture that's concentrated in one area. So think Atlanta, New Orleans, Miami, places like that. Storms, these accidents, these outages, they all aimed at energetic interference. I said still reigns true. PBB gonna be at an all-time high, so watch the sky for the fake sign. Are prepping people to believe in false gods, false prophets, all that type of shit. What's happening is the veil is thinning faster than what they can control. So I told y'all, they're not gonna try to go out without a bang. They know their time is up. True seers, the true mystics, and root workers are being activated, and they know what time it is. This ain't just a target, it's a trigger point. Believe that. Don't be surprised if this causes ripples in like the money markets, AI system. And we cannot forget the entertainment network. Expect more celebrity scandals, some casino hacks maybe. Big major public meltdown coming soon. I always tell y'all signs and symbols are for the righteous. Are you paying attention? You are? Okay, good. Observe, don't absorb. Make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know your thoughts. You think this was a natural occurrence? Or we on the same page? Either way it go, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.